everybody, and welcome back to Challenge Accepted right here on the Fumble. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Tell your friends about it because a lot of you are going to have a lot of shade because I've been losing all of the bets and it sucks. But that's okay. I'm feeling my good friend is going to go easy on me, right? Taylor Reed is joining us right now. Taylor is an actor and a fitness professional. He actually tried to help me get my fitness together way back in the day. I didn't stay on that track though, but I'm trying.
Stay on you though.
Welcome to the show. Long time no see.
I know, it's been too long.
It's crazy, but I got a bet. I got a bet at the end of the show that I feel like is gonna fix that. But may I see your shirt, sir? What is this that you are wearing?
I came here to win.
Right.
All right, that's what that is.
You're the reigning champ on my show and haven't even made a bet yet. Huh?
I mean, hey, I'm speaking into existence.
Oh, okay. I'm
here to win this thing. I'm here to win it.
Okay, so let me just give a little quick update because I know some of y'all are mad that I haven't quote unquote fulfilled some of my bets. But if I turn either way and you see some shiny stuff, it's because I had a whole bunch of gel in my hair right now because I had to wear my hair fuzzy. I had to do the Kawhi braids. I had to make it all fuzzy and I had to wear that on the live show. Roll the clip, you guys. Now look, these braids, I know they might not look as fuzzy as Kawhi's, but I'm convinced that takes work because I literally slept on a cotton pillowcase for 2 days and did all this for 2 days.
Didn't wrap the hair up?
I didn't wrap it up for 2 days. I was on a plane, all in the plane seat, did all this. What is Kawhi doing to get his braids like that? That was work just to get it that fuzzy.
I know that somebody in LA knows somebody that does braids. It's too many talented hairstylists in LA for Kawhi to be walking around with his braids like that. I know he's locked in, he's zoned in on the playoffs, you know, he's focused on the game, but we got to get Kawhi right. And I'm a Laker fan, so I shouldn't even really care. But I mean, I can't have my man Kawhi walking around looking like that all the time. We got to get him better than that. It's
work. Kawhi be doing that on purpose. I think he likes his hair like that. I just personally think. But
Kawhi get his hair braided in the dark. I'm convinced.
By a 4-year-old, right? All right, you guys, let's start this off as per usual with Challenge Accepted. Of course, we are going to challenge some current thought processes in the world of sports. Now, everyone, including us here at the Fumble, we are talking about Ben Simmons and what is going on with Ben Simmons. How does he need to improve? Can he improve? Stephen A said he thinks he's a big baby. Danny Green says he's not going to do something unless he's forced to do it. My personal thought, and this is what we're challenging, all those little perceptions, some people saying he needs to be traded. I think he might need to admit basketball just isn't in his heart anymore. It might be time for him to just move on. Taylor, what do you think? I know that's rough.
Wow, yeah.
But everything that he does, to me, indicates that he's just going through the motions. We've all been in them relationships where we just going through the motions, praying that they end it before we do. I feel like that, right?
If they cut me, they cut me. If not, then I'll just keep showing up, putting the jersey on. And I'm not ready to give up on him as a player yet because he's an elite athlete and he's nowhere near his ceiling. I was looking at his numbers and I'm like, okay, if you look at his statistics over the past 4 seasons in Philly, they don't tell the whole story, but I think he's putting up somewhere close to 16 points. And I think maybe
But he's regressing though. So like every year, his points come down a little more. His assists come down. Everything is regressing.
I think that's due to the fact that like who was it? Stephen A said he was who said that he has to be forced to do something?
Danny Green.
I think Danny Green is right in that he needs to be put in a position where he has to evolve. I don't think that he and whoever around him is putting him in positions where he has to evolve as a player. The greats always add a wrinkle to their game. Every year they come back with something that they've improved on or that they've added to their game in order to elevate them and to put them in contention to be great that year. Right. And so far over these 4 seasons, it's tough for me to say Ben Simmons has shown us who he is, so it's time for us to believe him. Because I think he's got too much ability to develop these other skills. Can this guy develop a jump shot? Absolutely. Can he develop the ability to score from the perimeter? Absolutely. Can he develop the ability to catch and shoot? For sure.
And the thing is according to his high school coach, that's not something he has to develop. That's something he's already had. So even his high school coach said he's surprised to see who Ben Simmons is right now in the league, which leads me back to my thing is if he's regressing to the point where he's not even doing what he did in high school, what can we expect from him? This is clearly a mental thing for me.
I think I'm willing to say that Ben Simmons is going to come back next season, and we're going to be shocked to see the player that he's become.
I've said that season before last, though.
But I think that now he's seeing the pressure. I think that now he's seeing. I think now he's seeing what people have been saying over the past couple seasons, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm getting paid $177 million over this 5-year contract. I don't want to get. I don't think he wants to get cut out of the league. I think this guy wants to play basketball. I think that he feels the disappointment because think about it. Whatever he was doing this year, you know, along with all the rest of the players in Philly, they got them to the number 1 seed.
Right.
And, you know, they were supposed to take it all the way this year. But I feel like next year he'll come back with a chip on his shoulder.
All right. If he doesn't, can we then say maybe this ain't it for him?
If he doesn't do it this year, I think that he needs a position change. I think that asking him to be the point guard and the facilitator, that might not be for him. And I said that in the middle of this past season where maybe asking him to play point guard is too much. Maybe they need to put him back at power forward where he can be in the paint, where he can score in the paint. He's not asked to shoot too many jump shots. He's a great rebounder. He's a great passer in traffic. Maybe playing power forward would be better suited to his skill set because you expect your point guards to be able to create off the dribble and shoot. Maybe that's a little bit too much for him. Maybe running the offense through him. That's what I'm saying. Maybe a change in responsibility will allow him to show his skill set a little bit more. Because maybe he's thinking too much of, I have to distribute the ball to my teammates.
Right.
And I have to, shore up the passing lanes. I have to do too many things for him to be able to show his offensive game. Maybe if he was just asked to get down the court, sit on the block, catch and shoot, maybe he would feel more comfortable doing that. Mm-hmm. So I think that because think about it, that's when things started to kind of regress for him. When he was asked on the NBA stage to be a point guard. Mm-hmm. And do I think Ben Simmons is a great player? Sure. Absolutely. Do I think he's an incredible athlete? Absolutely. Is he a Chris Paul or a Devin Booker or Russell Westbrook no, he's not one of those guys. That's still if you are not comfortable at the position that you're playing, instead of continually regressing in that position and continually declining, why not speak up and say, hey, I'm not comfortable in this position. I can't be my best in this position. He's not saying anything. He's just going through these motions. And that still leads me back to, if you're not willing to speak up to put yourself in the best position, is this really what you want to do? Well, I think it's conceding defeat for him at that point. Because you got to think when he was there with Markelle Fultz, who was drafted to be the point guard, and then he kind of outplayed him, got put in that position, then got this big contract. That's kind of scary to be like, I don't even feel good playing this position, but what am I supposed to do? Hey, y'all, I know y'all just paid me all of this money to be the point guard, but I don't really think that's where I'm supposed to be playing. Right. So he kind of got to just suck it up and do his best and go through the motions, like you said. When realistically, I think that maybe his game is more suited to play a different position, maybe one of the forward spots. Maybe, and not even calling him a point forward, maybe he's supposed to be used more like Paul Pierce would. Right. Where Paul Pierce could facilitate the offense, but what was he asked to do? Get down the court, find his spots, come off of picks and shoot. So maybe if Ben Simmons had an opportunity to do that, maybe we would see a different player from him. Okay, I can concede
the points on that one, because you're right. I can see feeling like, ooh, damn, they just gave me all this money.
$177 million and you got to play point guard? All right, hey, if they came to me and asked me to play point, like, all right, I'm gonna sign this paper.
Right, like, no, I'm supposed to be in the paint, but okay, let me try this dribble. I feel you.
Dribble this thing up and hope Embiid or somebody else is open so I can get the ball out of my hands quick.
I feel
He
that.
was standing right under the basket, and rather than taking the shot, he looked to pass the ball. That's feeling the pressure of being the point guard. That's feeling like, hey, I got to facilitate. He's not even thinking about scoring. He's thinking about putting his team into positions to score when it's like, oh, man. He's kind of lost up there. There's too much going. They're asking him for too much.
Yep.
If he's just being asked to score, like, hey, if he was playing forward and they're like, yo, you get the ball under the basket, you just go up with it. Cool, I can do that.
That's some excellent points.
You know?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna concede this one to you, but that's not the challenge though. So don't think.
Okay. All right.
Then you know. But let's move on to this fan challenge, because we talked about this on Monday on the Fumble Live, but I wanted to revisit again because we didn't dive into it as much. Taylor and I have had countless conversations on similar topics like this, so I can't wait to kind of dive into this one. Our conversations have lasted hours upon hours.
Days.
So, right, weeks even, and then even revisiting years.
Wake up and going back to it.
Waking up, I got all these text messages. I'm like, no, what I said was. So, this is going to be a fun one for us to revisit, but people are all upset, including Matt Walsh. Now, I have no idea who Matt Walsh was before this thing, but this always happened, for me anyway, when Black people speak up for themselves, all of a sudden these journalists, and I'm using air quotes here, come out of the woodwork with something to say. And he wrote an entire article. We talked about this again on the Fumble about Gwen and her taking that stance against the national anthem. And in her statement, she's basically saying, they told me this was going to be played before, and then I did some research, and it had been played before, a couple of times, and then she was, so she didn't have to go out there and disrespect anything. She specifically asked, and then when she got out there, the song was played, and she didn't know what to do. So she did it. She figured it out. She continued her protest. She's been an activist for a long time. She's lost money because she's been an activist, so obviously she was going to figure it out. But Matt Walsh wrote an article where he's really up in arms because he feels like everyone should honor the flag and a song, even though those were both created in the midst of slavery and were not written for us. Let that sink in. But in this article, he says, apparently all it takes to be an activist these days is to stand with your arms folded, pouting like a sullen child. He went on to say, of course, in a healthy country, an Olympic athlete who turns her back on her own flag would be kicked off the team and publicly revealed and shamed and as disgraceful, embarrassing jackass that she is. But we are not a healthy country, so instead she will be lionized as some kind of civil rights hero standing up against oppression. What sort of oppression? What precisely is she angry about? In what specific way has this person been at all victimized? What has America done to her to provoke her scorn? And of course, people on Twitter co-signed with this. This first tweet says, the vast majority of the country is healthy, but it's social media sites and media-related organizations that have taken over by a hodgepodge of victims and victimizers with a progressive phobia. And then this person says, I don't like this person at all. It says, to all you folks who are standing up for this person and stating that it should be allowed to behave this way if it wants to, that's not what most people are alluding to. Yes, it is allowed to choose to act this way, but we are also allowed to criticize it for doing so. But at least one person kind of knows the truth and said so. This last one says, criticize it all you want. She is criticizing a national anthem born of hatred. The third stanza, which is part of the anthem, imploring the killing of innocent slaves who wanted their freedom, is nothing to stand for. Facts are a stubborn thing. So, again, I am not at all surprised by this unyielding attack. To me, it's just a song and a piece of cloth. And neither have lived up to, well, the song has, like that last user just said, the song implied hatred for Black people. And I feel like this country is
refuge is made for the hireling and slave. Never
and
forget
so
that.
Y'all don't even know the whole song. And I still have yet to really understand why people are so up in arms about a piece of cloth and a song, but they're not up in arms about people and why they can miss what's going on in this country. And the fans in this one probably should have said less.
well, think about it. I think that Black Americans in general have had, since the beginning of time, a very contentious relationship with the flag and with the national anthem, because we collectively have never felt protected by that flag or represented by that anthem. You know, as we approach in a few days, July 4th, you know, which is a holiday that was born when people who look like us in this country were still enslaved.
Right.
You know, so it's easy for, like, I always feel like, you know, we champion freedom of speech in this country, but freedom of speech is only championed when it matches the narrative or the rhetoric that America, you know, sees for themselves. Like if we were screaming the same thing that white America was, then it would be all wonderful and freedom of speech. But when we exercise our right to express discontent with whatever's being said or whatever's being taught or whatever's being thrown at us, then all of a sudden we're being whiny babies and we should be, you know, ousted from whatever team. You know, it's not shocking at all. It's something that you and I have seen time and time again before, that we're used to hearing from these people that just, it's easy for them to turn it off. They don't want to hear it because it makes them uncomfortable to face these transgressions that them or their ancestors, you know, perpetuated against us. And, you know, their idea is it happened so long ago, it's just time to let it go and get over it. But it's like building a house on a weak foundation. You can't just slap a new coat of paint on it or put some new furniture in there without dealing with the issue, because it's still crumbling under your feet. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the things that I told, I got in a huge argument, you know me, I argued. And,
of course,
you know, one of the things he said, he was like, you guys keep bringing up slavery. You keep bringing up slavery. Like, when are we going to move past that? I'm like, we're not going to move past that until we've moved past that. My people are still trying to overcome the effects of slavery, Jim Crow laws, institutional racism. So how is it that we still have to overcome that, but you guys don't have to take account for what your ancestors did? We have to take account and try to rebuild from what our ancestors went through. The whole critical race theory, you don't want that taught in schools because you don't want white kids learning about racism. But black kids from the time they're born are going to know that they live in a different America. It's this ability to disconnect without addressing the issues that infuriate me. Like, truly, all the fans on this one, you should never, you're not challenged to anything. You guys need to go back, hit a reset button and do this better, because this was terrible.
They don't like to be made, and I say they as in the people who perpetuate this narrative. They don't like to be made uncomfortable with their own mess. They don't want to face the fact that we definitely, every moment of every day, especially as Black people in America, still face issues that are rooted in the foundation of this country's racist history.
Right.
Every single day that we do. It's okay when our athletes are scoring points or catching passes or running amazing times, you know, with the American flag on their shoulders, or, you know, representing whatever team that, you know, that people root for. But the second that they speak out about injustices that they deal with and they feel, all of a sudden, you know, they're being un-American.
Right.
But really all they're doing is making people who don't want to hear it uncomfortable. You know what I mean? They don't want to listen to the fact that, hey, you know, this happened, this is real, we're still being affected by it. Oh, no, that's not American. America, as the flag sits right over here over my shoulder. They don't want to hear that. So I take issue with that, just like you, and I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why. I don't know when we'll get to a point where we're able to, you know, come to a table with people from other backgrounds, white Americans, and say, hey, listen, this is what has to be done. We can approach like the Holocaust and say, hey, this was a tragedy. This was a travesty. These people suffered mightily at the hands of the people that were oppressing them, and they deserve to be recognized. They deserve to be acknowledged. They deserve whatever should be given to them as a people, you know, to help them rebuild from this tragedy. And that takes nothing away from Holocaust survivors from the Jewish community. They absolutely deserve that. Let's get that out there. What I'm saying is, white America can look at that and acknowledge that. The second we bring up slavery, oh, that was a long time ago, get over it.
Right.
Black Americans have never received reparations.
Nope.
And then of course, Japanese Americans, from World War II.
Mm-hmm.
When it's time to acknowledge us, all of a sudden we got to get over it. Meanwhile, like our ancestors were released from slavery, and think about that, released from slavery
into nothing.
Just listen to that statement, released from slavery. When the Civil War ended and Black Americans were emancipated from slavery, when they were told that they were no longer property anymore, they were just sent out. That's it. Oh well. And so either people became indentured servants and they worked this unforgivable debt for the rest of their life and were essentially still slaves, or they just were forced out to where they had to figure it out on their own.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nothing was ever done to figure that out. They were never given an opportunity to grow from that. So everything that Black Americans in general have now has been of their own merit.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I always leave it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to get a seat at nobody's table. I'm trying to build my own table and have my own people at it, and we just gonna rise together. But yeah, that's me. But now here's the fun part. We're gonna get out that serious part, and I'm gonna challenge this reigning champ shirt you got on right now. I'm ready. So everybody warm up, stretch, do calisthenics. Okay. Shoulders. All right. Who wants to go first? I'm gonna go first because
let's hear it.
When Taylor and I met, we became good friends almost instantly. It was almost ruined though. The second he told me one detail about him that I just didn't know if I could forgive, but I did. He's an Eagles fan, you guys. Like one of the worst.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
So here's the thing. You guys know I am a former and ex and never going back Cowboys fan. So that started.
Thank you.
You just say thank you?
You became so much a better person when you released that.
That's true.
Albatross from you. You had to get rid of that. You had to shake that burden, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Well,
now we're working on getting you to root for a real franchise. We got to get you an Eagles jersey.
I would never. There would be no way. If somebody was holding a gun to my head and Saints fans or Eagle, I'd be like, Lord, it's time for me to come home. I'm not doing it.
I had to get you for Christmas.
I'm not doing it. All right, so here's the thing. Y'all know the Eagles and the Cowboys are in the same division. That's the NFC least right now because they ain't nobody doing nothing over there. It's the NFC least.
Everybody hurt over there.
But as least as it is, I'm still going to say Cowboys are going to win the NFC East this upcoming season. I don't know where the Eagles are going to be. Don't really care. But I do know they're not going to win the East. So if that happens, Taylor is in Atlanta right now. Taylor's one of my favorite people in the world. He also owns my favorite animal. It's a pit bull named Nina who loved me from the moment she saw me. I miss her ever so. You're going to have to fly out to LA. You have to take me and Nina on a hike. I miss my girl. You accept the challenge?
I'm with it.
Technically, you should do that anyway, but I mean, you'll have to.
I'm accepting that challenge. We're going to make it happen anyway, but in the name of the challenge, I'm going to accept it. And I'll add that I'll wear a Cowboys jersey on the hike.
Not to put all my business out there, but I have some, because I'm not one of those people who throw stuff away or burn it if I've already paid for it. I've got a plethora that you can wear a Jason Witten practice jersey.
Oh, geez.
Or a Sean Lee practice jersey. I think I got a Tony Romo practice jersey.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Wear that?
No. All right. I said it, and it's on record now. So yeah.
Yes.
Cowboys win the East, then I'm hiking with you and Nina with a Cowboys jersey on.
I'm gonna get her a little cowboy doggy outfit too.
I hope that nobody sees me with this jersey on. I'm gonna have to lie if it's pictures. I'm gonna say it was Photoshop.
Oh, okay. What you got for me? Make it good now.
Okay. All right. So the Olympics are coming up. So I know I've seen, previous episodes, some of these challenges, it might take a second before, they're realized because you got to wait till it rolls around. Mm-hmm. I got a challenge for you. So we've seen over the past couple of weeks with the Olympic trials, she's putting up some crazy times.
Yes.
And the United States is sending incredible athletes over there to the Olympics. So I'm expecting the U.S. to bring back a bunch of gold medals. But my favorite Olympian, although she's diminutive, she is a big spirit, Sha'Carri Richardson.
Love her.
I think that she's amazing. I think that she is at the forefront of this next generation of sprinters. I think we saw a 17-year-old, Aaron, what's his name? Arian, I forget his last name.
Last name is Arian.
17 years old,
yep.
And he just made the Olympic team in the 200 meters. Noah Lyles. And we've been hearing Noah Lyles' name for several years, but he's still young. I think he's like 25 years old. So we're sending a real young but real talented team. But like I said, Sha'Carri Richardson going over there to run the 100 meters. I am going to say that not only is she going to come back crowned as the fastest woman in the world, but I think that she's going to go over there and break that 100-meter record set by FloJo.
Wait, you think she's going to beat Flo?
I think she's gonna crack the record.
FloJo has held that record for how long now?
It's
almost like 30 years at least.
Yeah, it's been over 30 years. And I think that with the times that she's putting up, with the times from the field, I think that it's the perfect setting for her to go over there and just go fast. So I feel like she's gonna get. I think she'll hit 10:45. I think she'll hit 10:45 and she'll break that record. And when she does, you're gonna get your hair and nails done like Sha'Carri Richardson. You're gonna get
what? You know that does not fit my personality. The orange hair?
You gonna get the orange hair, and you gonna get the super long fingernails. Yes, yes, absolutely. And then we're gonna go hiking with.
Oh hell no! You're doing the most. You want me to go out in public like that too?
Yes.
Sorry, no shade, but that's just not my look, love. That's just not how your girl rolls.
Yeah, you gotta rock it like Sha'Carri. And then maybe we'll go to the track at UCLA and just let you run around.
God, you know what? I'm going to accept that challenge, and I'm going to accept that challenge.
Gonna get that record.
I'm going to accept that challenge, and it's going to be twofold. Number one, I don't think she's going to break FloJo's. I don't think she's going to do it. FloJo is just an icon. Everyone in my family,
absolutely.
You see, when I go back to Denver, people got little FloJo pictures just everywhere. They just love FloJo. So I love FloJo as well.
She's an
icon. She is. And just she's a trendsetter. She was doing things before anybody else was. I love that about her. So I don't think she's going to break FloJo's record. However, if she does, I will be exceedingly proud of her. And I would love to represent her for a day. I'm not wearing it more than a day, but I would love to represent her.
You got to do the orange hair and the long. I'm talking about the, you know how she
got even white. Never mind. Oh, never mind. I don't understand. But anyway, challenge accepted. Now this is one that if I lose, it's not even going to be begrudgingly. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out and represent her for a day. Because the girl's dope, you know, and I love her. I love how open she is about her story and what she's gone through. And I love how she corrects people when they don't say her name right.
Hey, you better get it right. You better get it right.
Oh, yes. Challenge accepted. Hey. I love that. All right, Taylor, where can people follow you on social media?
Everything Jaguar Reed, JAGUARREED.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you and Nina in that Cowboys. I'm gonna have to find a little doggy Cowboy jersey for her because I know that's about to happen.
Oh my goodness.
And I guess I'll be looking for that orange wig just in case because I wouldn't mind losing that bet, but I don't think I am. But nonetheless, don't forget, you guys, you can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic. Make sure you're here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Fumble Live, and you're here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Challenge Accepted. Once again, it's your girl, Jackie Ray. I'll see you next week.